All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. Yeah.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome to the ASAP Afternoon Blitz. I'm Chris Gonzalez, joined by Jay McLevin. How's it going, Jay?
Hey, I'm doing wonderful, man. Just wonderful. Catching some of the basketball games from last night on the reruns here on ESPN. But, man, just a beautiful day, man. I know you guys said it was cold out there, man, but out here, man, it's a nice, comfortable 83.
It's 45 and pouring down rain here.
Oh, damn, it's 83 and sunny. What a day to be alive.
We're also joined by Mike Hughes. How's it going, Mike?
Hold on. Oh yeah, it's raining. It's 33. I'm sorry, I haven't been outside yet.
Wait, hey, one more degree though. Hey, one more degree and it's snowing. So be careful out there now.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it's coming.
I tell you, Gonzo, Mike, I'll tell you that's one of the best things I ever. Coming back down to the south from the north, I don't miss that snow. I'll tell you right now. Snow, ice on the windshields, scraping. Oh, I don't know. I do not miss that at all.
And we don't miss you in the north.
Oh, no. You miss me. You miss me. No. I'm the guy that, you wake up, you look at, you say, you know what? I could always be like Jay. And I instantaneously make you feel better. So by having me in your life, it is a positive influence on how you feel.
No. That's why you want to look at it.
If that's what helps you sleep at night.
Mike, there's a lot of things that help me sleep at night. And yes, that may be one of them.
The Hoosiers got killed in basketball last night by Michigan State. And I should have known they were going to because it was the first game back after that big mass shooting in Michigan State.
Yeah. A&M took out Tennessee yesterday. And Gonza, I was telling you about that.
I got that one wrong.
Yeah. But Baylor lost to Kansas State, I think it was.
What was I? I was 3-2 on my picks yesterday in college basketball.
That's not bad. Hey, that's a step up from where you were the day before.
I'm not doing bad for the year. I'm 107 and whoa, that's wrong. 110 and 102 for the year so far.
Oh, that's not bad. I mean, considering how betting goes, that's not bad.
It's over 50%. If you can be at 50% or better, you're doing okay.
Mark, how you been doing in your parlays?
Huh? No comment.
Hey, I understand. Hey, listen, man. I've always said betting is a hard thing to do, man. There's a lot of things that go into it.
It's bullshit half the time. Oh, it slipped out. But anyway. We don't. Frankie's not here, so we're okay. We're not going to get kicked out. Yeah.
Well, Frankie tends to come in the comments a little later. We even got there yet.
Franchise tags got till March 7th. What do you guys think? You guys think the Ravens are going to franchise tag Lamar Jackson, or you think they're going to end up moving away from him? Personally, I think they're going to end up franchise tagging him.
I think it's a little bit of both. I think they franchise tag him, and I still think they can move away from him in a trade with as we were talking about on a previous show with Detroit, which I still think is a pretty good thing for them. So I think it's a both. I think they franchise, and I think they possibly still can move away.
Well, if they franchise tag, they can't do nothing until after the season, right?
That's a good question.
I'm pretty sure if you
I
franchise,
didn't think that. I thought you could. I thought you
sure
could.
I know if you franchise tag, you can't do no contract talks until at the end of the season. I'm not sure about a trade. I'd have to
No,
look that
I
up.
believe they could still extend him. I think that's the conversation right now and I agree. I think they definitely hit him with the tag because there's no way that you could just let him walk. And that's just what it is. You can't just let him leave for anything. And that's really, to Jay's point, like you can't not tag him because then he's just going to become a free agent instantaneously and you can't trade him for anything. So, that's really what it is right now for me is, looking at Lamar, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. Well, it shouldn't be. It should be super easy. But if you're the Ravens organization, it's hard because obviously the guaranteed money is a big part of it. But yeah, I think Lamar definitely deserves his bag. He's definitely deserved everything he's done so far in the league. And, I think at the end of the day, he's going to get his money. I think he's going to get his money. And I think it's kind of like with the Dallas Cowboys just a couple years ago with the Zeke thing. I think it probably happens within the same season. And I think it's definitely probably something they'd want to occur before OTAs and everything else occurred.
So Evan says you can't trade a tagged player.
Hi, Evan.
So based on that, though, if that's the case, and like Gonzo said that the tag time is coming up soon.
Yeah.
I guess we're going to find out whether or not they trade to Detroit or whoever or tag. And do you think the tag is more likely than the trade at that point?
That's the problem a lot of people aren't grasping is you can't trade the guy if he's tagged and you can't trade him if he's not signed. So a big thing with it is it would have to be like a sign and trade situation where they extend Lamar Jackson and then move him. Like you can't just say, oh, I didn't tag him and he's a free agent, but now he's on your team. Well, he's not because he's a free agent. So you literally just traded nothing to acquire everything. So that's really the big problem right now. So it would have to be like a sign and trade deal. And that's probably what that would look like.
And then you have
I guess the league did that so you couldn't have your cake and eat it too, basically.
And then you have to put the exclusive tag on them, or because if you don't put the exclusive and you put non-exclusive, then other teams can make an offer to them.
It's kind of like, Jay, imagine if the bank took your house and then you tried to sell your house. It's gone. There's nothing to sell. Yeah, it's gone. Like if he's already a free agent, you can't trade him for anything. And, it's just like to Evan's point, you can't trade a guy on the tag. So really it doesn't make any sense. And I think it's all just smoke and mirrors, in my opinion. I believe they're going to get the deal done. First and foremost, I don't think they have the balls to move on from Lamar Jackson. I think, to be completely honest, I think that team is very close to needing a rebuild. You see Mark Andrews and you see Lamar Jackson, but outside of that, there isn't a lot going on offensively. You take Lamar out of that picture and you put in a Jared Goff, like you said the other day with the Lions, or just a rookie quarterback that's not ready, and it's going to look bad. So I think they failed no matter what they did. And I think a big part of that was the Roquan Smith trade instead of getting a guy like a Devontae Adams or, a DeAndre Hopkins, for free just a few years ago. Yeah, I mean, and you lose Marquise Brown in Hollywood Brown. And there's a lot that goes into that. And I think, that Lamar should want to go no matter what.
Right. Let me ask you this. So if you put the tag on him and then he sits, then Lamar doesn't get paid if he sits during the tag, correct?
No, he gets paid.
Well, then damn. So if I'm Lamar and you tag me, I'm just going to sit. If I'm going to get paid, I'm just going to sit and I'll wait until after that.
The thing is, though, they can tag him. They can tag him the next year as well. You can tag him.
That's okay. So you tell me I get 2 years of free money? Okay.
Yeah, but you're going to set out 2 years, and then are you going to be the same player when you come back? Look what Deshaun Watson after he set out almost 2 years.
Right.
And look, Le'Veon, I know it's a different position, but look at Le'Veon Bell. He set out that season on the franchise tag.
I think some people would argue that it's the same position, Gonzo, but I think that's a whole different conversation. But no, I
said he came back and wasn't the same.
And that was a joke. That was a joke. People are gonna get upset. I was just kidding.
But you know what? Look, if I'm Lamar, maybe I go grab me a couple of college wide receivers. I throw a little bit of money at them, and I just sit there and practice throwing routes and things like that to keep myself sharp.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he would have to do that. I'm sure he has a camp of guys he could trust and other guys he could.
I'm sure he does too. I'm just saying, I'm just don't know.
No, yeah, but I think the best thing for Lamar, and there's different levels of like how you get paid and how you don't under the tag. Like if he just chose to sit out, I don't think he would be getting paid. But if Lamar says, like he did about his knee, hey, my knee's bothering me, that's definitely something where he could sit out the entire season saying he just doesn't feel right. Guys do it all the time. I don't feel good. Oh, this, and this. You know what I mean? DMPs, whatever it may be. But Lamar is in a tricky situation to where I don't think Lamar is the type of guy to really do that. I think it'll go as long as they want it to go, but Lamar is not going to just sit out to sit out. Lamar is a businessman first and then an athlete second. But he's also a guy who wants to play the game of football. And I don't think that's one of those conversations like a Le'Veon Bell where, he's that desperate to get that money because he's already won an MVP. He's going to get his bread no matter what. And, under the tag, he's going to be making $32 to $45 million this year, depending on whether it's exclusive or non-exclusive. So, which is a whole different conversation, but it's definitely something. I think Lamar at the end of the day is going to get re-signed. I just don't know long-term if he remains with the organization because I wouldn't stay with them.
No, I think he feels kind of disrespected.
As he should. As he should. You made Roquan Smith. I was telling Jay before Gonzo got in here, you made Roquan Smith the highest paid linebacker in NFL history for 6 games. And Lamar Jackson's been here since 2018, won an MVP, won you division titles, won you playoff games. And it's like nothing, like not even a conversation.
Well, I told Jay when they first got Roquan Smith, I said, watch, I said, they're going to franchise.
That's what I was. It was me and Gonzo. Gonzo said that at the beginning, and everyone was like, "No." And I was like, "I swear to God, watch him do it."
Yeah,
because that's the.
Isn't the writing with him already on the wall, though? I mean, that it's not the amount. I mean, it is about the money of the contract, but mainly more so than the amount of money, it's the amount of the guarantee that he wants, and the Ravens are not willing to give him the guarantee that he wants.
He wants fully guaranteed. Yeah, he wants fully guaranteed like Deshaun Watson got.
Yeah. So you got to imagine at some point he's going to be gone anyway because I don't think the Ravens, unless you think that Baltimore caves in and gives him the fully guaranteed.
I think they should. I think that is your entire franchise right there is Lamar Jackson. What were the Baltimore Ravens before Lamar Jackson versus during Lamar Jackson? And I think that's something they don't know what to do. I think they're in a situation right now where they want to act like, they have the keys to the Lambo and that this kid's going to want to drive it. And that's what it is. But at the end of the day, Lamar's taken over. Lamar's won his MVP. Lamar's done everything he's needed to do. He has the accolades. He's shown that he deserves his money. And I think, you look at the predicacy of what Deshaun Watson, after everything that happened with him, still got all this guaranteed money. You set the tone. And that's the tone now. You look at Russell Wilson. He just got all of his guaranteed money. You look at Aaron Rodgers. He just got all his guaranteed money. And they played like shit this year. Lamar's done 10 times better than what they've done in the last year. And I think that's something that's probably pissing him off the most is like, these guys are getting their franchises and their organizations behind them, even though they're not playing to their best ability and everything that went on with Deshaun with 20 plus women allegations. And they still believed in him enough to give him that fully guaranteed deal. And I think that's something for Lamar. You're like, again, back to the Roquan point, you brought in this guy who's only played 6 games, made him the highest paid at his position, and you can't even give me my fully guaranteed money. We're not even saying Lamar is going to be the highest paid. We're just saying all he wants is whatever the deal is, he wants the most of it. And I think that's one of the biggest problems right now. And I understand it because it's like, at the age he is, especially in what he offers to the game. I know I'm a Bears fan. I got Justin Fields. I worry about Justin Fields all the time just because of his health. We saw it with Cam Newton and how, Jay mentioned it throughout 2 seasons ago, how quick that derailment was after his knees and his back went down. But at the end of the day, you got to pay to play. So if you don't want to, then ship him off. But don't push the foot with it. Talking about 2 years, I'm going to tag you for 2 years. You go for it. I dare you, please. Because Gonzo, my calf is going to hurt every day for the next 2 years, and I ain't going to play. And you're going to pay me over $60 million. So that's on you. And you're going to lose every game and probably get fired as a general manager and as a coaching staff because that's what it is. So, I mean, that's where I'm at with it. If I'm Lamar, you get your bag, kid.
And then he's still going to come off that 2-year hiatus and get another bag.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, Lamar's going to come out smelling like a damn rose no matter what.
If they franchise him franchise tag him twice, he's going to make close to $100 million
Yep.
on them 2 franchise
So
tags.
that's 2 years. You got $100 million, and I would imagine he still probably makes over $100 million in his next deal.
And you're saying that he could save wear and tear on the tires and still get the $100 million. How beautiful is that?
Yeah, I mean, he'd probably lose some athleticism throughout that time period.
He'll lose a little bit, but the ligaments, everything that makes him, I mean, they're still going to be,
Yeah. I mean, it's a business, man. These are the conversations that we're having in today's era. Not a lot of guys believe that, if you're not rocking with me, I'm not rocking with you. And that's what it is. You need to show me that you care. And I think that's one of the biggest things right now is the Ravens, in both financially and on the field, have not shown they care about Lamar Jackson whatsoever. And I think that's been intimate in, seeing what they have as a product. You trade away a guy like Hollywood Brown. Bateman hasn't really turned into what you wanted him to be. Mark Andrews is nice. I ain't gonna lie. Mark Andrews is a nice weapon. And then other than that, they don't have any.
But that is your only weapon as Mark Andrews. After that,
yeah.
What do you really have?
So, I mean, I think there's levels to disrespect. And I think if you were to tell Lamar Jackson, listen, we got you Devontae Adams, but we can't give you fully guaranteed money, I think he stays. But if you're going to tell me that, you're not going to draft a wide receiver in the first round, or at least a correct wide receiver, or bring in free agents for me, and you're not going to pay me, but you're going to pay Roquan, I would feel disrespected and slighted as well.
Yeah, I would too. I mean, it's kind of like Kirk Cousins in Washington. They franchise tagged him twice. He made like $90 million, and then went and signed that big deal with the Vikings after that.
And got weapons.
But the thing you're taking a chance is if you get hurt, because you don't have no guaranteed money for the next year.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. I don't need it.
Lamar's case, he'll just sit though. He ain't got to worry about getting hurt.
Yeah, if you don't play.
I mean, now if he plays, that's a whole other issue.
No, he could not accept it. He can refuse the franchise tag, but then he has to sit out the whole season and can't negotiate with no teams or nothing until the end of the season.
Oh, that would be dumb. That would be.
He wouldn't make no money this year.
No, that would be suicidal.
You guys think it hurts him that he doesn't have an agent?
Yeah, I think it does. I think it does every single day. I think that's a big part of why these issues occur. And I think, that's something that Roquan Smith dealt with the same thing. Roquan Smith was one of those guys who doesn't have an agent. And I think sometimes a lot of it becomes you believing in yourself so much, but you need guys who are actually going to sit you down and say, listen, this is the best financial offer for you. Robert Woods is awful, but it's definitely something, I think that was with Roquan Smith's problem, to my point. Like I said, and that's why the Bears shipped him off. And the benefit of that is that somebody somewhere is going to pay you. Obviously, Baltimore was the team that said, hey, the Bears don't want to pay you. We'll pay you. You know what I mean? So, I mean, there are teams like Atlanta. There are teams like Detroit. There are teams, you could even see the Rams or something, or the Seahawks or someone along those lines, all interested in guys like Lamar Jackson. So, one man's trash is another man's treasure. And I think, it's definitely not beneficial that he doesn't have an agent, but it's not hurting him that he doesn't, because I think someone somewhere is going to pay him.
Yeah, he's going to get a contract, because there's how many teams in the league need quarterbacks?
Hey, I like the old saying that Abraham Lincoln said one time: a man who represents himself has a fool for a client.
Well, and another thing I think hurts representing yourself is you need that buffer, that middleman, because when you get these contract talks, the team is going to pick you apart. And to me, it's better let the agent hear all that stuff, than the agent can tell you what they think you need to hear.
Right.
Instead of, it don't get.
Well, and again, too, there's a lot of legal jargon that goes into contracts that you can't tell me Lamar's a lawyer and knows all the loopholes, the ins and the outs, and everything else.
Yeah, that too. But I'm saying you need that buffer where, because now it's him negotiating with them, and they're saying, well, we don't want to do this because of this. Well,
it becomes a very toxic relationship.
Yeah, it gets personal. Where if you have that buffer of an agent, he can kind of make it where it don't get personal.
Like I said, there's a lot of things that an agent provides other than just the representation, right? I mean, there's a lot of different things that they do. And that's why I think Lamar is a fool for a client, because, again, to all those different factors, it's crazy. What it is, what it is.
I was looking it up. If he signs the franchise tag by March, they have to do it by March 7th. He can still negotiate for a long-term deal until July 15th, and then after July 15th, they can't negotiate no more until after the season.
Yeah, that's normally how it goes. That's how it was. It was either Dak or Zeke. It was one of them.
And if they give him the exclusive, they own all his rights, and he can't talk to other teams. Now, if it's non-exclusive, he can negotiate deals with other teams, and then Baltimore get a chance to match that offer.
The only difference between that, though, is, with the non-exclusive, it's 32 million versus the exclusive being 45. And I think that's one of the biggest issues right now for Baltimore is, again, they do not want to pay these guys. And Anthony said, so Mike, if there are money problems, do you see the Ravens trading Lamar away? I see Lamar requesting a trade. I don't see them willingly just wanting to let him go. I think they're going to try to hold on to him as long as they can. I believe it's a toxic relationship to that extent, to where, there is no plan. Tyler Huntley just made a Pro Bowl though. Yeah, well, he played 4 games. He's not a Pro Bowler. I've heard Ravens fans say, "Oh, well,
how many touchdown passes did he throw?"
I don't even know, bro. Is it even 2? Yeah, so I mean, that's really what it is, and it's like, I like Huntley. I think Huntley's solid, but if I'm not mistaken, Huntley's a free agent as well. So I mean, there's a lot of issues that are going on right now. You might have to call back RG3, and RG3 was talking about it this morning on the show, and mentioning that Lamar's going to do what Lamar wants to do. He's one of those guys that isn't going to sit there and just take whatever you want to give him. He's going to do him, and I think. There's positive and negatives with that. There's definitely some drawbacks. Frankie said, I wish I could hop on the show, but I'm busy watching. And Rachel. Oh, okay. Yeah, we didn't ask.
I'm telling you, man, I don't think Frankie speaks English sometimes, man. I think it's like a second language to him.
So put me in time out. I don't give a shit. I don't care.
Hey, don't worry. I already put Frankie in timeout today, so don't be afraid of him. I can handle Frankie if you need me to. I can do your long work for you.
I think they franchise tag him.
I ain't even worried.
I think they franchise tag him and they get a deal worked out before the July deadline.
I'm kind of on the fence.
End up getting him like $200 million guaranteed.
I think that's what it is. I really do.
Because they're wanting to give him like $100 million guaranteed on a $230 million contract. I think if they offer him a $240 million contract with $200 million guaranteed, I think he would take that.
Yeah, I think that's a solid deal. But I think, at the same time, for me, I think one of the big question marks is what's going to happen. And I think, who's going to match these offers and who's going to say, hey, listen, we'll trade you this, and this if you do a sign and trade. So I think that's really something that everybody needs to take into consideration, and that's why it's so important that they exclusively tag them. Because if you inexclusively tag them, I could see the Atlanta Falcons right now saying, "Yo, listen, we're in here.
We'll offer you this," and then Baltimore has to either match it or they lose them for a couple second round picks.
You got Drake London, Cordell Patterson, Kyle Pitts, and Lamar Jackson, and you're making some noise. And I bet you look pretty stupid for getting rid of Calvin Ridley too. But I think that's really going to be the conversation setter and the tone setter in that office is, we need to exclusively tag him because it's going to be a problem if they don't.
By the way, your Urlacher jersey is slightly crooked. I need you to fix that because it's really messing with my eyesight.
It's actually not. My laptop is crooked.
He said that's crazy. We might have Hurts, Tua, and Geno and Daniel Jones get a new contract before Lamar. Wow. Yeah, that could happen.
Daniel Jones is not getting that contract. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, hell no. If he gets that contract, oh, Lord.
I think he'll get a contract, but he's not going to get what he's asking for.
Not 45 damn million.
No, that's what I'm saying. He ain't going to get no 45 million a year.
They're stupid.
He might get like 25 million a year for like 3 years, something like that. But they're not going to get no 45 million a year.
I would move on from both of them. Personally.
Both of them.
I don't think Jones has done enough to deserve any of that money.
And you move on from Barkley as well?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you look at Barkley, he's already had a torn ACL. He's already had back issues. He has neck issues.
That's true.
He has all types of issues. And it's like, you franchise tag Barkley and you're paying your running back $30 million or $20 to $30 million, whatever it may be. I know it's a little different.
I think it's close around. I think it's around the $20 million.
Yeah, around 20. I know every position is different, which is stupid. But
it's a 5-year average of the pay at that position.
Right. So I think one of the biggest things for me is, you have a new regime. You have a new regime of Brian Dable and the new ownership there, and not ownership, the new front office there. And I think that's one of the biggest things is, you made the playoffs, and that's cool. But that's one of the big things we were talking about, and that's why I agree with Frankie. You got to move on from. I mean,
Galladay's gone.
You can't move on from Kenny just because the money. I don't think anybody wants Kenny Galladay, and I think that's one of the biggest issues is he has zero trade value. But if they come to a buyout or something, that's a different conversation. But when you look at it for what it is, and you're like, listen, this is not my regime. And you watch Daniel Jones. Oh, he's top 10 in every category this year. That was because he did not throw the ball often. They did not want him to throw the ball. I mean,
I think you move on from Barkley because Barkley still has some trade value there. But
I mean, you can't trade Barkley, but he's a free agent, So it's like,
shit, that's right. You're right.
They're both free agents, so it's like to me, it's like
hell. I just let him walk. If that's the case, I just let him walk. Then
yeah, I mean, I told Gonzo this, and I'll stand by it. I believe you go after Jimmy G or Derek Carr, and then you draft your new running back in the draft, or you go after a Josh Jacobs or something along those lines. I think if you really want to continue,
I think with their cap, they would probably draft a running back, but you can find running backs in position you can find.
Oh man, all day, especially in this draft. I think this draft is very deep at the running back position. There are so many different guys. I've been following it pretty heavy, and I think if you could just get away with it, Jimmy Garoppolo, then you won.
Right, because I think you get Jimmy at a pretty good price, and then I think you either get Robinson or you get Gibbs. Should be one of those should be available at that number 26 spot.
I think you probably get Gibbs. I would say Robinson's probably gone around.
Yeah,
15.
I think so too. But I definitely think Gibbs would still. You can get Gibbs on he's still a good running back. So
he's solid. He's an Alabama product. So I mean, he is what he is. But yeah.
And to your point, you won't have to pay him nearly what you'd have to pay Barkley or anybody else. So you're going to get a really nice cap relief there.
Right, and that was another thing too. You started the season. I believe they started 6-0, if I'm not mistaken. They had a very hot streak. It was 5-0, 6-0. The Giants were on top. It's really just one of those things though where I watched them the entire time doing that. My guy Doug Rush. I love Doug Rush. He's a good guy. He's so excited about these Giants winning, and I'm like, man, but like, what is it for what? You know what I mean? And as a Bears fan, like that's what I told everybody all year. I don't want to win these random games. I don't give a shit if we beat the Patriots or if we beat the Eagles or if we beat the Miami Dolphins. Like I want the number 1 pick. And I think that's what it comes down to is, really getting to that point. If I'm the Giants and I'm Brian Dable, I wanted a top 5 pick to get my quarterback. And I think they don't believe in Daniel Jones. I think they did a hell of a great job, kind of winning despite of Daniel, but they don't win because of Daniel, and I think they just make sure, hey man, just stay out of the way, throw the ball like 15 times, don't F it up, and we'll see what happens. And, right now, if I'm them, dude, we can draft the quarterback next year or something, because we'll rock out with Jimmy or we'll rock out with whoever, because we are not $45 million on Daniel Jones. Get out of here, bro.
Yeah.
To
throw 100 yards.
I mean, why would you give? So if Aaron Rodgers is at 50, why the hell are you going to give $5 million less than Aaron? That makes absolutely no damn sense.
Why would you give Aaron 50? I think there's a lot.
Hey, look, I'm right there. Trust me, that's a whole other conversation that I agree with.
There's levels to it where I feel like
I just don't know how you give a man that expectation is so unrealistic that it's almost comical.
Yeah, I mean, there's levels to it though. Like I think a lot of guys fold because of I've talked to Gonzo about it. A lot of guys fold because of the pressure of the fans and the fan base, and obviously the ownership. But in the sense of Aaron Rodgers, I wouldn't have folded when I just drafted your replacement 2 years ago. I would have said, "Cool, I'll rock out with Love." I could not have cared less. I would have been gone. I would have had Christian Watson, Jordan Love, and AJ Dillon doing their thing, and obviously AJ Jones or Aaron Jones, not technically AJ, but like not AJ. But
Aaron Jones said he's already taken a pay cut to stay there, so you're already saving money on that aspect as well.
Yep.
What do you think the Dolphins are going to do? What do you think the Dolphins are going to do with Tua?
Lamar Jackson.
Well, he's due for a contract. You give him the long
he's due for a contract, but and not that his play hasn't been great, but it's the concussion and staying healthy. He hasn't played a 16-game
It's the health
Season
aspect of it. It's all about the health. It's all about the health at this point. He's proven that he can play quarterback, but can he stay healthy? Can he stay on the, all the other X factors around it?
Yeah. I mean, I think they'll definitely be in the Lamar conversations. The Jets, the Falcons, the Lions, the Dolphins. I think there's going to be a lot of teams in on Lamar. But I think the most realistic to me, and again, I'm throwing his name out there again. I just keep throwing the same guys, but it's a great sense for them is Jimmy G. I think is a great sense because, you have these conversations where Teddy Bridgewater's all right. He's not horrible. But he gets banged up just as much as Tua, and he's far less productive. So I think Jimmy being there, it's a conversation where he'll probably be one of the highest paid backup quarterbacks still. And he's going to be off bench for Tua. And then, if worse comes to worse, you have Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and Jimmy Garoppolo. And I don't think that's a bad class. They bring in a running back. I saw they were talking about that today on ESPN. I don't know what it was. I think it was First Take or something. That's the same way Raiders gave Carr big money. I mean, Raiders are just awful, man. I don't know what to tell you. Jets not going for Lamar. I think
if I'm Miami, if anything, I give Tua a number one. I make sure I do my due diligence on the medical side of it. But then I think I give him a 2-year, see if he can stay healthy for that 2 years, and then we talk long term.
I don't know if the Jets will get Carr just because it sounds like Carr's going to take his time and kind of shop around and see what all teams are interested in. The Jets,
but I wouldn't be surprised if he goes with Carr. I mean, he goes with the Jets.
It keeps sounding like the Jets are. They want to go all in on Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
And if the Jets.
Oh, the Jets? Yeah.
And if Carr's waiting and then Rodgers comes out of his darkness retreat and decides what he's going to do and the Jets go after him, that's
a game I don't play though. Like I wouldn't, if I'm a GM, I wouldn't even play that game. And you can try to sit here and tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. I've heard plenty of guys tell me that about the Aaron Rodgers situation. But you look at the situation with the Denver Broncos right now and what happened because they were so deep in the Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes, willing to actually hire Nathaniel Hackett just because he held Aaron's jockstrap in Green Bay as the only reason they hired Nathaniel. And then you wait so long that you end up with Russell Wilson, who are two completely different schematical guys. And now Russell looks like shit. Nathaniel wasn't even worthy of the job to begin with because he was never a true OC. And you look at it for what it is, and it's like that totally derailed the entirety of the future of the Denver Broncos. So, I look at it like that, and I go, if I'm the New York Jets, I don't wait that long. I go, hey, I'm going to ask you one time. Are you coming here or not? If you're not, I'm calling the Ravens or I'm calling Jimmy or I'm calling Derek or I'm calling Jimmy G. I'll call whoever, but I'm not going to sit here and beg you to come here because then you're going to end up.
I think Carr is a better prospect for that team. I think, in my opinion, I think he's a better prospect. He wants to win. He's got a competitive spirit. There's no prima donna. There's no drama like Aaron's going to bring to the team. I think, and he's younger too. I mean, and he's still a damn good quarterback. I think that really is the better play there.
No, the better play is Aaron Rodgers, 100%. But
you think so? You think so? You think Aaron Rodgers is the better play for the Jets?
If you can get Rodgers,
we all know Aaron Rodgers.
But I agree with Mike. I wouldn't play games and wait on him.
I wouldn't wait for him. But
I just think Aaron Rodgers, as great as he is, there's so much drama around Aaron that I just don't know if I want that drama.
And that's not the conversation, though. You know what I mean? If you're telling me what quarterback is better for this team, it's Aaron Rodgers, 110%. Because Derek Carr, I mean, you could say, McLovin, I love you. You can say what you want. Bro had Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs, and Darren Waller, and Hunter Renfrow, and was ass. Like you could say it's on coaching. You could say it's on coaching, right? But I never saw Aaron Rodgers play like shit with Mike McCarthy when he had Devontae Adams.
I'll give you that, absolutely. But again, I look at it from a scientific standpoint, though. Mike
won the division every year, no matter what he had.
Then can you just tell me why it is though that they were in the playoffs last year? And they were asked this year. And the only damn difference, truthfully, was the coach. I mean, if you ask me, Devontae was an upgrade over Ruggs or anybody else. So the only true difference was the coaching change. And all of a sudden they go from playoff to not playoff. I mean, I'm not saying it's all on Josh McDaniels, but there's a good part of it that is.
There's a good part of it is. But like you said, there's a key difference between guys who are going to win you a championship. And sometimes it does not matter who your coach is. I completely believe that. Like that is that is what it is. You know what I mean? Deshaun Watson won you a few games back in the day, and I promise you, 80% of the league couldn't tell you who his head coach was. You know, in Texas,
That's a good point.
And that's really what it is. And I think that's something right now, you know, if you're to compare, you know, especially in a conversation with Robert Saleh, a very defensive heavy guy, who's better for that team, it's Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't need an OC. Now, Derek Carr, Jay, how bad was he with a horrible head coach this year? He can't lead an offense by himself. Aaron Rodgers, hey, I don't give a fuck who's the offensive coordinator. This is what we're doing, and he's doing it. And that's what it is. That's not
okay, but
be real.
So Aaron Rodgers would tell Josh McDaniels, "Fuck your scheme." Pardon my French.
100%.
But we're going to do it this way. And I think he probably could command that because he does have a certain amount of respect on his name to do that.
Respectfully, because I know you love your Cowboys. If you knew, because I watched every game because they're in my division. If you knew how many times he told Mike McCarthy to go F himself, oh my God.
I'm sure.
You would see it. You would see it on the sideline. Mike McCarthy would have something drawn up and he'd be like, dude, get out of my face. Like, I'm going to go do this. Like,
here's the other thing.
Yeah.
You put Derek Carr.
I believe what you're saying, by the way, Mike.
Derek Carr with the Jets. You put Derek Carr with the Jets. Who's his offensive coordinator? Nathaniel Hackett. So is he going to have success with Hackett? We saw.
I don't know.
Where if you get Aaron Rodgers with the Jets, he's already dealt with Hackett before.
He's like, Hackett, bro, just hold my jockstrap, bro, just like we did in Green Bay. It's cool, bro. Like, I got this. And that's what it is. And I think, you know, you look at it, and I've seen Derek with weapons. Like, hey, you know, like it's a touchy subject, but Henry Ruggs was a hell of an athlete as a rookie, you know, and you look at Hunter Renfrow, Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, Josh Jacobs, and I never, ever saw this man really do anything with any of them. I think he's a good quarterback. I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I don't want people to think that. I like Derek. But when you give Aaron Rodgers, Garrett Wilson, and, you know, you have both Robinson and Breece Hall, you have CJ Uzomah, you have a bunch of guys that you could look at on this team and be like, yo, these are the guys that you can win with. And that defense looks pretty solid.
You got a pretty solid defense.
You got my guy Sauce out there doing his thing. I mean, he's the best corner in the league, in my opinion. And I think that's not an out-of-pocket thing to say, even as a rookie. So
I agree with Sauce Gardner being the best in the league. I truly believe that as well. I mean, I think his performance, if nothing else, his performance dictates that. So
yeah. But I think, you know, personally, myself, I would walk out with Lamar Jackson. I think that's really what I would do if you had an offensive coordinator and you had a head coach that was offensive minded. But to Gonzo's point, you know, everything messes that up when you have Nathaniel Hackett as OC and your head coach is defensive minded. And I think that's where you kind of want a guy like Aaron, who, you know, Aaron's going to do Aaron at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like, you could draw up all your screen options that Nathaniel Hackett wants to do, but, you know, Aaron's throwing it 40 yards deep to Garrett Wilson, and that's just what he's going to do. And Nathaniel can cry about it. There ain't nothing that's going to change that.
How many more years do you give Rodgers in the league competitively?
How do you define competitively?
Well, just competitively, meaning that, you know, you can still be a difference maker on a team.
Yeah,
I would say 2 or 3.
Yeah, I would say 2 or 3. And, you know, if he wanted to be a backup in this league, I believe he could probably do that for as long as he wanted. But to be competitive, I would say 2 or 3.
That's about what I was thinking. Okay.
And I think if you put him with the Jets, I think the Jets would have I think they can make a deep playoff run with the weapons that you have on offense and with that defense.
I sneezed for the first
time.
Hey,
let me ask you this. How well do you think Jimmy G, though, would be with the Raiders, being that Josh McDaniels he's familiar with Josh McDaniels' system and coach? Oh, I think he'd be – you don't think he'd be good there?
Oh. I mean, it's not a big part of it was the offensive line. So I really don't think Jimmy would be good because Derek at least kind of was a little bit mobile. Derek could get away. Derek could take big hits. Jimmy can't take big hits. That's been hurt. Jimmy had one of the best offensive lines this year and he got messed up. So I mean, it's no, not Jimmy. Lamar. All right, maybe we
honestly, if I'm getting Jimmy, I'm bringing Jimmy in as a backup. Just because of his health issues. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's proven that he can win games, but he can't stay healthy for a whole season.
And if you had a starter for me, Gonzo, I'd say that was a great idea. They don't even have a starter.
That's what I'm saying. If you have a starter, you bring him in as a backup.
That's not true. They've got Stidham.
Oh man. Good luck.
Hey, you know I'm not even being serious about that, right? Come on, that was
Good luck. Good luck.
Hey, listen, if you can joke, I can too.
Hey, if you can't win with Derek Carr, you're not going to win with Stidham.
Good luck, Stidham. God bless you.
I remember when Frankie was high on Stidham back in the day with the Patriots.
He was all of them, man. He's high on all of them.
He was so high. He was so high on Stidham, and then when Stidham played, it kind of soured Frankie's mood a little bit.
What do you think the Bears are going to do? Are they going to keep Fields?
Yeah, I mean, come on, like talk to me.
I think they should keep Fields. No, I wouldn't trade Fields to get either Stroud or Young.
No, I think it's, and I'll break it down from the most non-biased way I can because I'm huge on Fields. I think when you're a first-time GM, if it were to happen, I would say I get it. Like I understand. Like at the end of the day, you're a first-time GM, and you know guys who become general managers. I don't think a lot of people understand what they
want to bring in their guy.
Yeah, and what they do throughout these years to be able to do it. They jump through so many hoops. They do so many different jobs, from scouting to team development to so many different things. I mean, they do amazing stuff. And Ryan Poles has earned the right to actually be a general manager in this league. I believe that. So for him to, come in here and inherit Justin Fields, which was so untypical of a rebuild. You draft the quarterback in your last year of contending, and you're horrible. And then obviously you rebuild the second year. That never really happens. Usually you're horrible, then you draft the quarterback, and then you kind of rebuild from there. But I think, if he were to take a quarterback, I would get it. You want your own guy, and you don't want a guy who's in year 3 of a 4-year deal. And I think that's definitely a conversation a lot of people don't look at right now, because Justin was drafted outside of the top 10. So you're not really going to get that 5th-year option the way you'd want it to, unless it's like a franchise. But, I think myself personally, I think you have a lot of holes on this team. I think Justin Fields is a leader. I think he is one of those guys that I'd want to go to war with. He's one of those guys I'd run through a brick wall for, because he's doing the same exact thing. When I had Mitch, when I had Nick Foles and Andy, those really weren't those guys that you said, hey, listen, this guy's going to leave it all on the field. And I think Justin Fields is one of those guys that leaves it all on the field. So if we could trade down, get him a Jalen Carter, get him a Jackson Smith and Jigba, get him whatever, over $120 million in cap space, get him whatever you need to get him. I think you have the guy who, to me, it's more important to mentally be a quarterback than to physically be a quarterback. And I think that Justin Fields is your prototypical mentality-wise quarterback that, he's going to be a leader. And I think that's what I need right now. And
here's the deal. Here's the flip side. Now, Mike, and I agree with what you're saying. Justin has had to basically run for his life behind that offensive line. He has. And I think that's why.
That is nothing of what I just said. But
no, that's not true, Mike. I have literally heard several times.
But not today.
That's not what I just said.
Several times where you have said, when the question came about why does he run all the time and not throw the damn ball and be more productive passing, you said, and by the way, Mike, I agreed with you that the offensive line does not give him the opportunity, that he has to run for his life. That's why he does what he does. So my question to you on that logic is, almost if I'm Justin Fields, I would be mad if he traded, because maybe I could go somewhere that has an offensive line and I could probably do something. Because do you think at some point this Bears team will ever get that offensive line that can support a guy like Justin Fields or anybody else for that matter?
I think Justin's one of those guys. Justin's petty. I think Justin's petty, and Justin understands that. I don't think he's petty in a negative sense, but I think he hears what everybody's saying, and I think he wants to win here. I think he wants the city to be his, and he wants them to be on his back. He's ready for it. And Jay, for another point too, just because I know we got some people in here that aren't, I could see them that aren't Justin Fields fans. Another point I'd like to point out to when you ask me why he runs so much, it's because he can. And I think that's the beauty of it. I think this is a guy who's breaking Michael Vick's single season record. This is a guy.
He's not a running back. He's a damn quarterback.
That's cool.
Can somebody please come back to planet Earth and tell me what a quarterback is? Because if you want a running back, that's fine. If you want to run wildcat, that's fine.
And what's a quarterback?
Damn, we're talking about the quarterback position.
And
Jay, you should be a runner, but your passing yards should be there as well.
Jay, can I ask you something?
Yeah, absolutely.
How many rushing touchdowns did Jalen Hurts have in the Super Bowl?
How many passing yards did he have?
Over 300.
Thank you. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
And hey, can I ask you another question?
Absolutely.
Okay, so Patrick Mahomes did not throw the ball incredibly well, right? He threw about 200 something yards.
That is true.
To win the game, what did he do? He rushed for 30.
Okay.
On a bum ankle. So this is a different league. This isn't Jim McMahon out here fucking around.
Again, you should have legs, Mike. To your point, you gotta have you gotta be a mobile quarterback.
100%.
But if you're rushing more than you're passing, that means you're RB1 with QB2 mentality, not ability mentality.
Fields can throw the ball. You have to have weapons on the outside.
Again, I agree with you. That's what I was trying to say.
You got the field wide open, right?
He's got to get away from Chicago, or Chicago finally has to do an offensive line around him so he can get to that point.
But I'm gonna ask you this. First of all, I don't think he needs the offensive line because he's obviously doing things he doesn't need to.
No, he's not. Look at his passing yards, and you tell me he's doing what he should be doing.
You look at his wide receivers and tell me he should be doing what he's doing.
Okay. So if that's your mentality, okay. All right. Okay.
I'm asking you, hey,
I don't believe that. Because you know why? Tom Brady's done it. Now he is the GOAT. So if you want to go that route, he is the GOAT. So I'm going to give you that.
With what?
But
with what?
And let's
what
see.
Did he have? What did he have?
Look at Patrick Mahomes.
What did he have?
Who does he really have?
What is the key difference? What is the key difference in everything you have? I'm gonna write it down for you. Please,
do you need some paper?
I got it right here.
Oh, right. Let's go.
Hey, I'm gonna write. We're gonna go. You said Pat and Brady, right? Okay.
Well, so again, I did specify that he is the GOAT, so I don't know if that's truly a fair comparison.
Hey, we got time today. It's cool.
I got time.
So I'm gonna write it down.
I got a dog over there that probably won't poo for about an hour.
Hold on, McLovin. I thought we were talking, bro. Can we talk?
My bad.
All right, let's talk. Me and you. Gonzo, you sit there and be cool. So I'm gonna start off with Randy Moss.
Gonzo over here eating popcorn like he does every show. Let's go.
So we got Tom first, right? So I'm gonna write Bill Belichick, right? Valid. I can write that. Okay.
I would imagine so, unless you're gonna write somebody else down.
Oh, I do. I am. I'm gonna write Rob Gronkowski. I'm gonna write Randy Moss.
Yep.
Aaron Hernandez.
I did say that wasn't like a fair comparison. I did want to put that on paper. No, I said it, but I said, I don't know.
It's cool. I ain't done. Okay.
See, but I do like the deflection away from your quarterback. Go ahead.
Because I got more. Forget just Bill. I got Bruce Arians. I got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown. I mean, we could do it all day.
Well, that's true, but last year didn't look too good for Tom,
that's
though.
That's not the conversation. That's not the conversation.
No, it is a conversation.
But Jay, I'm gonna leave it at this.
No, but then we're still talking about Tom Brady. You can't omit and then put in what you want to put in.
What you mean? I could put in any players that he's had, right?
No, but you admitted Todd Bowles.
What's wrong with Todd Bowles?
I'm saying that Brady didn't do as well last year or this year, I guess, however you want to look at it, under Bowles' regime.
Okay, that's fine. So you get Patrick Mahomes, right? We're gonna have Andy Reid. Damn, that's crazy. Andy Reid. Okay, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce.
No. Well, okay, yes, he has had Tyreek. That is true.
He's won a whole fucking championship with Tyreek.
I just said that's true. I was thinking this year, not the whole time. We'll put Tyreek in there.
So we got Travis Kelce too.
Okay.
Right? Okay. We got Sammy Watkins, Kareem Hunt.
No, fuck Sammy Watkins.
What's wrong with Sammy Watkins?
We're not putting Sammy Watkins in there.
Can I ask you? All right, fine. Hey, would Sammy Watkins be wide receiver 1 on the Bears right now?
Jesus Christ, my grandmother could probably be wide receiver 1.
Okay, so that's the conversation.
I get the point.
Hey, but Jay, everybody we just named.
Chicago was the offensive line. That's the point I was making.
Everybody,
you just saying Fields about throwing the ball. The point is he don't have nobody to throw the ball to.
Want to throw it to.
Well, that's not what Mike's comment was previously. Not this show. Mike's previous comments have always been he's running for his life. He doesn't have an offensive line. Call me a liar, Mike.
That's why he's running.
I get that.
But you're saying he's run first, throw second. That's not it. I'm saying
no, that's not what I'm saying with Chicago. He's had to be that. To your point, he's had to be a run first.
No one to
I'm saying what I'm saying is I would say Justin Fields. Either A, Chicago give him an offensive line to actually be a quarterback, or B, ship him off to a team that will give him an offensive line to where he can be a quarterback. That's what I'm saying. I think the guy could probably be a quarterback. He just ain't, like you said, to your credit, he hasn't had the time to throw the damn ball.
I think he does have the time because he gets out. The thing is, you watch.
If he has the time, why is he doing it?
If you watch these,
you don't have nobody to throw the ball to when he does get out.
Jay, I'm gonna draw it up for you. If you watch these games,
so why are these guys in the NFL?
Look right here. So Field starts right here, right? Let's say he starts in this little circle right here. This is where all the offensive linemen are. He's right here.
I get what the pocket is.
My guy, every time he'll roll out, come this way, look around. Everybody's got their hands in their pockets. Corners are right on him. Then he goes, F it. I'm going to just run straight up. And he goes. And he does look. He looks. And that's the thing a lot of people don't realize. When you look at Lamar Jackson, Lamar's got his head down. He's got his ball tucked, and he's ready to go. Justin's got the ball out there ready to sling it.
Oh, I get that. And that's why I think being and I guess the only point I was really trying to truthfully make was I felt like with Justin Fields, either they need to give him the weapons in the line or do something that they need to give him something, or they need to let that man go and bring somebody else.
And that's what this offseason will be about. And if we go into year 4 with Justin Fields and there's still questions about him passing the ball and still questions about having offensive weapons, it's like, then we're going to have to cross that bridge when we come.
They do have a lot of cap space this year where they should
be
the
highest cap space in the league. You got $120 million.
Try to fix that offensive line. Try to get some weapons.
Yeah, I mean the offensive line is something.
Well, speaking of weapons, and Mike, I kind of already know how your thought process on this particular person is, but Woods just got released. I'm not saying that Woods is like oh my God, the best thing ever, but maybe he's a little bit better than what you have, and you probably get him at a really cheap price.
That's not something for me that I'm really entertaining. I think it's cool. Like, it's fine. If I didn't have Chase Claypool, I'd say sure. But I think when I look at it for what it is, I go, okay, listen, I have Darnell Mooney. I have Chase Claypool. I have Cole Kmet as a tight end. I have everything I need. I really just need a young guy like a Jamar Chase and a Joe Burrow who are going to grow together for the next 4 to 5 years. I don't need a guy. I don't need a guy who's 30 years old on his way out. That's why I like the Odell Beckham Jr. to Chicago conversations, because it would be cool. It would be cool to see.
I think Chicago's number one priority has got to be that O-line, though. I mean, I get the idea about the receivers, but I think that's secondary to that O-line.
No, but the number one priority is a wide receiver one, and I think that is what.
I don't see how, Mike. Why would that be a number one priority? You can't even get your running game going without. You can't get a running game going from your running back without an O-line to give you.
Okay, and can I ask you something?
Yeah.
How good are the Cincinnati Bengals without Jamar Chase?
I mean, they're not.
They're not what? They're not going to the Super Bowl
without Jamar. Jamar is a huge
They're offensive.
But you can say the same thing for T. Higgins too, though.
No, I can't say the same for T. Higgins. No, I cannot say the same for T. Higgins. T. Higgins is a good one, but I think so.
I think they could clearly double down. They could clearly double down on Jamar Chase.
This is what I'm telling you. Why did they take Jamar Chase instead of Penei Sewell?
They took Jamar Chase, I felt like, because he had the connection with Burrow at LSU. And that was a natural.
And
I get that. I understand.
No, but what have I been telling you the whole time? The number one wide receiver in this draft class comes from where? Ohio State. He played with Justin Fields.
That's true. Well, that's true.
And if you're going to tell me, hey, fix the offensive line, we can do that in free agency, no problem. We have $120 million to fix it. I hope we get every fat motherfucker there is. Sorry, Frankie. And I hope we sign him.
Damn. I like that side jab.
But it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, you look at me, you're going to tell me we're rocking with Robert Woods or Odell or something? No. If you want
to. We come from two different worlds. I've always believed in offensive line first. That's the trench is the most important.
And that's fine.
They say wars are fought and lost in the trenches, not at the wide receiver.
What Mike is saying is draft a wide receiver one and fix the offensive line in free agency. He's saying
if you think that there's offensive linemen out there that can be better than what you have in free agency.
You got Orlando Brown.
And I haven't looked at the free agent list that's out there, so I am kind of coming from an ignorant place at that level. So I agree with you saying.
I mean, if they want to draft offensive line, that's cool, but you better have 2 other first-round picks in the first round for trading down. I mean, that's really what it is. Like, you better not.
But I want you to understand. I do understand what you're saying about bringing his teammate in from Ohio. There is a lot of sense to be made there. I just like offensive line. I'm a big offense. I put a lot of stock
I get it,
in
and I definitely get it. You know what I mean? Like it makes sense. It's something that I think everyone needs to take into consideration. But Tua's offensive line was shit too. But he looks great with Tyreek and Jalen. He looks great no matter what. And I think that's something. You look at AJ Brown.
True.
AJ Brown in Tennessee looked great, and AJ Brown in Philadelphia looked great. Because it's AJ Brown, no matter where he goes. And I think that's one of the conversations right now. You look at it for what it is. AJ Brown was like the third option in Tennessee because of Derrick Henry. They have no offensive line there. You come here to Philly, he's a number one option. So I get getting an offensive lineman changes everything. But, let's talk about
what Cody's saying. I think to your point, Mike, you could trade back out of that one spot, which I think they do.
Mm-hmm.
I think they do trade back, get some extra draft spots, and you can draft the wide receiver, and you can draft the offensive line, and then you can go to free agency for whatever you didn't get in the draft. So there's definitely a plethora of options for Chicago at the number one spot if they trade back, and I think that really is the best thing for them is to trade back. And
I would definitely trade back and keep Fields. I wouldn't go with Young or Stroud.
Well, because even if you went with Young and you put Young there, you still, like to Mike's point, you have nobody to throw to. You have no line to protect you. So what really is that going to do for you?
Only thing it does for you is now you, like Mike said, you have a quarterback in his rookie contract.
Yeah,
That's what GMs like to have.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
I'm on the
board. I would be surprised if the Colts take that number one spot and they go after Bryce Young, trade back, and then you get the number 4, possibly the number 12 spot, and I think the Colts will do it. And I think you get 4, you get 12, and I think you address the wide receiver.
I think Houston has 4 or Houston has 2 and 12, if I'm not mistaken. But
I thought the Colts had 4 and 12.
No, we have 4.
Oh, you're right. No, you're right. Houston has 2 and 12. I apologize.
We have 4, and then we have a high, or not a high, but an early second round pick, like barely out of the first.
Well, either way, you go back to number 4 and you take best available, whether it be offensive lineman or wide receiver.
I don't want the Colts to trade up to get Young.
Oh, I guarantee. I bet you they do. Gonzo, I know it's probably not what you want, but I guarantee. I bet you they do.
I'd rather them take Stroud than Young.
Well, I'll tell you what. If they sit at 4, Stroud most likely will probably be there. And I would see them probably taking Stroud. I just don't want them to take Levis.
Hey, I'll be honest.
Just don't take Levis.
I'll be honest. When the rumor was that the Bears might trade Fields to the Colts, I was all for that. I'd rather have Fields than Stroud or Young.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think that's really the window that the Colts are in right now is kind of a guy that they could put in and play right now. I think, you have Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman, a bunch of other guys. You still have Quentin Nelson, who I still love in the trenches. He's a little banged up lately, but he's still one of the best guards in the league.
Have a decent defense.
Yeah, decent defense.
I really like Bryce. I like Bryce Young. I like his mentality. I like his ability to keep fighting even when his team isn't in the lead. I like all the attributes of Bryce Young. The thing about Field, I'm not a big fan of Ohio State.
Do you like I'm like genuinely asking you something. Do you like that he can't win playoff games or make the playoffs?
Oh damn. I understand your viewpoint on that, Mike. I know where you're coming from on that.
Like Bryce
that's a valid viewpoint. But then again, you can say the same damn thing about Justin Fields. What Justin Fields won in college?
Justin Fields was a dog in college.
Oh, well, no. So is Bryce Young. He's a dog,
no,
too.
He wasn't.
Bryce Young
missed the playoffs, sir. Bryce Young missed the damn playoffs in a league where you can't do that if you play for Alabama.
Ohio got their asses handed to them in the playoffs, sir.
Right. But what'd they make it to? And Justin Fields did it with 2 broken ribs?
I get it. I get paid. I feel you.
And the other thing that worries me about Young is his size.
How do you miss the playoffs with Nick Saban in Alabama?
Yeah, best talent in the nation.
Best talent in the nation. All the money in the world. You missed the playoffs, and you're going to tell me that this kid's better than Justin Fields?
I do think he's better than Justin Fields.
I think he's a little midget boy. That's what he is.
Okay, hey, all right, man, all right.
Hey, it's
I look at track record of schools too, and how many. I mean, Justin Fields may be the exception to the rule, but by and large, Ohio State quarterbacks have not.
But how many Alabama quarterbacks have been great in the NFL?
Ever?
Well, Mac Jones isn't doing too bad at number.
Yeah. Hey, Gonzo, he lost to Justin Fields 40-12.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Hey, didn't he? Hey, my bad, Frankie. But didn't he throw 3 times in a game because they don't trust him? You want to talk about Justin Fields not throwing? This motherfucker threw 3 times, 3 and completed 1. Oh, sorry, Frank. He completed 2.
It's fine. Hey, he
Outta
still
here,
got the
bro.
win. He still got the win.
Still got the win. Still got the win. You know what? That's the smartest thing I've ever heard. I hate guys like that.
Good point. The fact that the D-Hop should be made available via trade if y'all want to do that.
He said draft a wide receiver and get Hopkins for the Bears.
Yeah.
Nah, if I were to do something like that, I would say obviously you get 2.
He needs to go easy on the midgets.
My bad. That's a slur too. My fault. But
I think the correct term is little people or height challenged.
People. But what? Height challenge. That's awful.
I think that's worse than.
I think height challenge is worse. But I think if that were the situation, and that's what with what Pops is saying, I think I would want 2 Hopkins and probably a second. And then you could, because Hopkins doesn't want to be there, first and foremost. He's also 30 years old. So you're not selling me that this is T. Higgins. You know what I mean? So I would probably try to rock out with Jalen Carter at number 2. DeAndre Hopkins is your wide receiver. And then in the second round, with that second round pick and your second round pick, you could probably go after an offensive lineman, like Jay said. And then you can go rock out. You can take 2 offensive linemen in the second round for all I care. That's fine.
Yeah.
But get your wide receiver, and I do believe you do need to address the trenches because Payne just did get the franchise tag in Washington today, so he's not going to be a free agent anymore. Jalen Carter's generational. I love everything about Jalen Carter. Will Anderson's all right. I think he's got a lot to prove. I think he's more of like a 2 years down the line kind of impact guy. He's not like an 80.
Who's your wide receiver in the draft, Mike? Like, if you could draft any wide receiver in this draft, who would you want?
As a Bears fan, I would draft Jackson Smith-Njigba because he came out of Ohio State. But I think Jordan Addison is a really good piece as well. And I think Jordan's one of the better guys coming out of this draft. He kind of went to not a no-name school, but not a real big college football school. But, this kid put up numbers. So between Jordan and JSN, I think, those are my 2 guys that I would want.
Yeah. Wow. Jay McLovin's daddy.
That's what I was going to say. How's it going, Jay McLovin's daddy?
Listen, my dad. The circumference of my dad's waist is never.
Excuse me. He was talking to me. He was talking to Jay McLovin's daddy, not Jay McLovin. Have respect for your daddy. All right. Next time, don't interrupt your daddy when he's talking. But to answer your question, Chris, I'm doing really good. I think I'm gonna have to take a trip, to Georgia because I had to leave my son Jay McLovin. He was just bothering the hell out of my life. He was just ruining everything in my life. And I just had to go on from him, leave him to be raised by his mother alone. And I think I'm going to have to take a trip to Georgia right now and give him a little spanking because he's disrespecting his daddy right now.
Hey, listen, I've seen the size and the length of that belt, and it is long. Unlike everything else in life, it's long.
Jay, I honestly, I don't understand what is up with you. You always picking on people's weight. But yeah, I think you forget to look in the mirror every morning when you wake up, and you think
what? Every morning when I wake up, my wife looks at me and says, "God, my husband."
First of all, you wake up, your wife isn't there, sir. I bet you she's already at school. Okay, so stop lying there. 2,
Gotcha.
I put money on it. I put money on it. You wake up.
Not on Saturdays and Sundays, though.
And Saturdays and Sundays, she don't stay at your house. Stop lying.
Hey, Frankie knows too much about you, Jay.
He does. Hey, look, that's just the price tag of having somebody in your life for a hot minute.
And,
they know all the ins and the outs.
And Dad, Addison is the USC kid.
Yeah. That was the school. I totally forgot the name of the school, but Pops knows. Pops knows his ball. I'm gonna do a show with just Pops. Gonzo's gonna be so salty. Me and him are gonna do it.
All I know is
no one's invited.
All I know is there are a lot of jobs out there for people of his height. You got the leprechauns.
Why you doing that? Why you doing that to my guy? Why
we don't sponsor.
Get the fuck out of here, man! You ain't gonna talk to Pops like that.
We don't sponsor these type of allegations against the little people. We love the little people. We have nothing but respect for you guys. We know that you guys do something. I bring him back in. Who took him?
Get him out of here.
The Oompa Loompas. There's a lot of different acting roles that he can make money at. I'm just saying, a lot of money out there. I'm just saying, there's a lot of money on the table.
Chris.
I just saw. I literally saw on TV the other night. I was flipping the channel.
Check out what I did.
What'd you say, Frankie? I couldn't hear you.
Yeah,
I said you need to put your foot down against Jay and tell Jay stop talking about your daddy. All right.
I muted him again.
Stop having Jay talk about your dad like that.
Yeah,
or next thing you know, we're gonna have to have a WrestleMania match again.
Sir, if you unmute yourself again, we're gonna have some technical difficulties.
It's hard for me to tell him to be quiet about that. My dad, when my dad comes back and says he's going to be a jockey.
He said jockey. Baby.
Oh, damn it. Well, if Tony said that, might as well let Jay say whatever he wants to say then, I guess.
Oh, man. I'm going to unmute Jay McLovin.
Hey, true story. We was at a casino. We was at the horse track.
Unmute you.
Everybody knows that I have a very loving affection for Tony Gonzalez. No.
Get him out of here.
No, true story. We were at a casino in Shelbyville. Me and Dad went to the horse track there, and we were eating at the buffet. There was these two older people sitting beside us. They thought me and Dad were jockeys. They asked us if we had any tips on the horse race.
Chris, how tall are you?
I'm about 5'5".
Yeah. How tall is your dad?
4'11" and 3/4. If I don't put the 3/4 in there,
4'11"?
Yep.
4. Yo, no.
Listen, and if you do want to know what the technical definition, it's pygmy. A pygmy is 5 foot or less. A pygmy is 5 foot.
Hey, and then this is another one. We was at the casino here in Anderson, and they were giving him at the buffet. They thought he was a jockey. They were giving him the jockey discount when he went up there.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah! I'd ride that all the way to the end. Damn right. I want all the discounts.
God. I'm still surprised that he's 4'11". That's so cute. I just want to
Hey, mom's 4'11" as well.
I swear to God, I swear to God, I stand next to your dad. He's like to my waist. That is so cute. I just want to hug him.
Well, you could if you could get those arms out from underneath your sausage body.
Oh, coming from someone who has a muscle shirt thinking he has muscles, but you got flabs.
My bad. It was my bad. It was 40% off, and he got it.
Get him out of here!
But
Weights and heights.
AP said, Mike, what would be the idea trade for the number 1 pick?
I like, hold on. Thought I had to sneeze. But
look at the
that would have been crazy. But man, I think there's so many different ways you could look at it, and I think there's a lot of different conversations going around. The most unrealistic one I saw was Michael Pittman and number 2 and a couple other picks. I don't see them parting ways with Michael Pittman. Michael Pittman's also not really Gonzo respectfully. He's not one of those guys I'm like sold on. He's solid, but I'm not really sold on him. I don't think sold on
he's a number 1 yet.
Yeah, I don't think you guys are either, and I think but you definitely don't want to part ways with him.
I think he'd be a solid number 2 if you get a number 1.
Yeah, I think he's a great he's kind of like a Mike Evans. I still think you need like a Chris Godwin. But I do think at the end of the day,
that's crazy.
I do think at the I think my favorite one, and Pops kind of brought it up. I want a little bit more than what Pops said, but I think number 2 and DeAndre Hopkins, and if you can get a second rounder out of that too, or a future first, I think that's really where I'm at with it, because like I said, I would prefer a young guy to grow with Justin Fields, but DeAndre Hopkins isn't a bad option, and it's kind of like a Devontae Adams conversation where it's like, yeah, he's 30, but I mean, his 30 looks like other guys is 25. So, I mean, that's really where it is. So, if I could, I would get Jalen Carter at 2 from the Texans, and obviously DeAndre Hopkins, and yeah, 2 1s in a second. That would be my ideal. But I don't know. I don't know.
The Chicago. I'm not gonna put you guys down. The Chicago Bears have the number 1 money in cap space. So don't be surprised that they don't do that they don't make a splash at the draft, but I do expect them to make a splash in free agency. Like, no doubt about it. Watch the Chicago Bears do something really insane.
I also did just realize that I said the Texans, and he is on the Cardinals. That's my bad. But I still think we could pull out getting Jalen Carter at 4 or 3 or 4, whichever one they have, and I think it'd be really interesting to see what happens with that. But yeah, I think free agency speaks volumes to Frankie's point. I think I really won't have a good understanding of what they're gonna get until I see what free agents we bring in. Like, obviously, and Frankie came in right before we said it, but Payne out of Washington just got franchise tagged, and that was one of the best defensive tackles in the league. So I think that's a conversation where if you're the Bears, you're like, damn, like we could have got Payne and drafted Anderson, but now we might really want to draft Carter because man, get me out of here. Get me out of here.
Yeah, you got one more shot. You got one more shot, bro.
Nah, it's cool. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. I deserve it.
I'm so sick of this. I can't believe I'm trying to run a professional network here, and I can't have professional analysts that can't stop cursing. This is just unbelievable.
Well, hell, man, we followed leadership, and God forbid the example leadership gave us.
I did not curse not one time, Mr. Sir J. McLovin. All right, so
hey, listen, Daddy, I have receipts on several occasions.
Yeah, I heard that, right? You heard what he called me. Yeah.
Hey, sometimes you just got to realize that you always got to be better than your dad, and I realize I have accomplished that. But let's go.
Well, I'm alive, so I think that makes me better than mine. So I think I won. And Chris is 5'4", so I think he won too. I've heard very good things about Frankie's dad, though. I don't think he's got him beat yet.
No, I don't speak to my dad, but I still respect and love my dad.
I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard that guy's a badass. So I don't know, but Frankie's pretty cool too. Frankie's pretty cool too. So I don't know. I don't know the other one personally, but Frankie's got a high bar.
I would imagine he does have a very high bar. Frankie is a very upstanding young man, and he is beyond approach. Mike.
Wait, are you making like sarcastic
Mike, we can't. That includes gestures too, Mike. Really, Mike?
That was never stated in the pamphlet.
Jay McLovin's daddy, could you please get him out for gestures too? I
need a copy of that pamphlet.
I don't have that pamphlet. Sorry.
Hold on, because I want to shut this dude up for a second. Hold up, Mickey Delaney.
Oh crap! Here we go.
And you know what? I'm trying to be professional as possible with you. All right. You're a Seattle fan. Everyone on this panel laughs at the state of Seattle for one reason only, because every single team is ass in Seattle. Stay in your lane, bro.
You know what that means, right, Mickey?
Know your role and shut your mouth, you jabroni.
Exactly.
Can I just say that the special effects department of this show is on point today?
I'll be killing this sometimes.
God, Mike, I don't know where you get it, but you keep it up, Mike. You're doing
man, sometimes, man, you just gotta,
For your right to party!
Let's go!
You feel me?
You think the Bears might go after? No, Damian had mentioned Taylor Lewan on that offensive line. You think that'd be somebody that the Bears might go after?
I mean,
nah, this is gonna be somebody the Bears go after. This was somebody the Bears go after right here. Look at that beautiful play.
Look at him, he's so sexy. But
everybody could throw a ball left and to first. I mean,
it's hell of a lot easier too when they have buzzers on their
shirt. The new thing down there in Chicago, we all are learning how to do that. I've been doing it for decades. But
have you?
Learn how to do it.
Have you been around for decades?
You put your practice on TV. It's a cute thing.
Yeah, Jose Altuve is the same size as Pop. Stop talking to me. But
Altuve can hit the damn ball over the fence.
When you have a buzzer, can he?
Yeah, I'm pretty damn sure.
Wait. Can I have the floor, Frankie? Can I have the floor for 2 seconds?
No, Mike.
I got a question. Hold on. Cause I got a question, Jamie McLovin. I got a question. So in his first year back in the playoffs.
What the hell?
Oh. Why was I taking off? Anyways, with his first year back in the playoffs without a buzzer on, he went 2 for 33 in the playoffs. That's Jose Altuve.
And people don't have off times. People.
That's a fat ass off time.
Okay,
That's like a long time.
Yeah, I like how you. It's like you cookie cut a segment of
cheated.
life.
You cheated.
You don't look at the whole
That's what you
career.
did.
You don't look at the whole career. The guy's going to the Hall of Fame, Mike.
Hey, Aaron Judge was robbed of an MVP, and y'all are false champs. And that's all I know. That's all I know.
False champs, my ass. You're
False
just pissed
champs.
off.
False
You know, Mike, you
champs.
sound like the girl that got
know
shut
you
up.
cheated. You
Mike,
know
I'm
you
sorry.
Know
cheated.
your
So
role and shut your mouth, you jabroni.
Mike, I know my role. You shut your mouth, you jabroni.
Yeah, I didn't say anything to you. All I am saying is, sometimes you got to cheat and sometimes you got to do it different ways. But at the end of the day,
Gotta fight for your right to party.
We sure as hell did that this year, didn't we, Mike? Mike, who's the World Series champs right now, Mike?
I'm still waiting for the scandal. I'm still waiting for the scandal.
Shut your damn mouth. You get my respect.
Jay, you almost messed up there.
You give me my respect.
He was about
You
to
can
call
get
the team
this
National League champions.
You give me my respect. We World Series champs. You give us our respect.
You get this dick.
What the
hey.
Get him out of here.
Right, get him out of here. Time out for a second. Jay, is there anything you want to say to that response? Anything you want to say to that response?
You know what I'm going to say to that response? I'm going to say this.
Your team is shit.
I love Mike. But everything about Chicago right now is nothing but a big loser. A big freaking loser. And I can't really say what I want to say. So I'm keeping it. But you're a loser, Mike. Your city of Chicago is a loser. You're a loser. I don't speak loser, Mike. I don't speak loser.
You speak cheater.
Championship,
You speak
Mike.
cheater.
No championship. And I think it's cute. You want to put your little baseball practice on TV.
Cheater.
You brony. You fake wannabe.
Cheater.
You spam instead of freaking filet mignon.
Cheater. You just racially profiled me. Hey, Frankie, he just racially profiled me. Get him out of here. You jabroni. Get him out of here. Don't talk to me like that.
Nobody profiled nobody. What are you talking about?
Man, you talking about me, man. You talking about my spices. Leave me be. You don't know me.
Damn, normally it's me and Jay going at it. I love it when Jay and somebody else goes at it.
He's cheated.
You just mad because you over there in Loserville. And
You know what it was? You know why they cheated? You know why they cheated?
Cubs on our level, Mike.
You know
the
what's
Cubs are
crazy?
nowhere near on our level.
You know what's
and
crazy?
the Bears aren't on the Dallas level.
The Cubs?
And I will tell you that the imitation crab that you're serving out there in Chicago, and you're trying to disguise it as Chicago Bulls, that don't fly either.
What'd you say?
I said,
I can't hear you. I can't hear you, man.
You got imitation crab. You're spam, man. You're spam.
Speak up. I can't hear you with that buzzer in your mouth.
You know what? It's funny because I can't hear it with you down there in last place.
I can't. Too many banging trash cans.
I can't say they wasn't in last place because that was Cincinnati.
Hell yeah. I'm correct. We third place.
Oh my!
I gotta tell you, I love this show. I love everybody on this panel. I do, man. I love you guys.
I hate you.
I love you guys, man. This show. I tell you, man, it wakes me up every day.
I bet because you wake up at noon.
I do wake up at noon. That's what 30 years of working can do for you. Yeah.
Watch, now I got all these messages probably from Jay. Here he goes. How's your day going, bro? Yeah, I'm fucking fired. Get me the fuck out of here, Frankie. Send us home. Get me out of here.
Hey yo, Mike. Remember this?
Shanig, man. Fuck with ASAP Sports Network, man. Tune in, stay logged in, and stay mouthed in. You dig? Yuck mouth. Yada da. Boy!
Oh man.
Thought that was the dumbest shit when I saw it the first time, man. I was like, who the fuck is this guy?
I'm just saying our advertisements are on par with the best of the country.
Our advertisements suck, man.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Well,
man.
I tell you what, man. Oh, Jesus.
Y'all send
I'm
those
gonna have
dudes
to
yet?
write. I'm gonna have to write Jay and be like, listen, I can't control these fools. I try, and it just can't happen.
Damien, crawl back in the corner from which you came out of. Nobody cares what you did back in the 90s. That time has come and gone, sir.
Is yours?
It's gone. It won't come back. No matter how many times you try. Just like Frank over there.
Like James
He can
Harden?
learn that, now that Tom Brady's gone, those great days are never coming back.
Yeah,
And you gotta learn to take
Damien.
that.
Yeah, Damien, they're never coming back like Garrett Cole and James Harden and a bunch of other guys. Ever.
Oh, you could add Justin Verlander in there.
Justin Verlander never coming back. What the hell was that? I don't know. Some guy. You know what? I'm gonna stop myself.
I will say this. Cole left, we still keep winning. Verlander left, we're gonna keep on winning. No matter what you do, we're gonna keep on winning. It's just the way it is. And Lil was
Keep on cheating. Because you keep on cheating.
You can say that all you want. I don't give a damn.
Jay, can I ask you?
That's
Jay,
loser talk right now.
Jay
You're
McLovin.
I don't eat spam, Frankie. Frankie, I don't eat spam, Frankie. I don't eat spam, Frankie.
Jay McLovin. Real actual question as an Astros fan.
I don't know if I believe it's an actual
question. It's a real question. It's a real question.
I feel like I'm about to hit me in the forehead with something crazy.
Hand up the
Mike,
God.
you scare me. No, you scare me when you say Jay McLovin. When you started off, I have a
real genuine
that tells me that there is
question
coming my way.
I think Frankie's curious too. Gonzo's curious. It's a real question. Can I ask it?
Go ahead, Mike. I know what's coming, but go ahead.
I just want to know.
I know you. There's a lot of things you want to know, Mike. But go ahead, ask your
question.
Hey, so listen. No,
Gonzo, you don't want.
You're not gonna let me answer, bro.
No, it's an insult described as a question. So let's just keep it.
No, it's not.
Keep it 100. They say keep it 100.
Coming to you sincerely and asking, as a Houston fan in Dallas, I want to ask you, in the great state of Texas, if a scandal were to come out at some point during 2023 and you found out that the Astros, God forbid, didn't say they are, not saying they are, but if just like last time, if it took a few months to come out and then you found out that the Astros cheated again, as a fan, would you still rock with them?
I have to. I'm a fan. I mean that's my
if
team.
They did it twice?
No. To answer, two questions or two responses.
No, go ahead. I just want to know.
No. You ask me a question. You gonna give me my time, son of a bitch.
Said go ahead. I said go ahead, bitch.
You're gonna give me my few moments. You asked the question. I'm gonna give you an answer.
Go.
No, you asked the question. You asked the question. I'm gonna give you an answer.
Go. Green light.
All right. That requires you to be quiet. The first one is a fan always stays a fan. Nobody, look, we don't pull no Freddie Hendersons over here. We don't pull no Rob Scotts. I love you, Rob Scott. We don't pull no Mike Hughes. We love you, Mike Hughes. We do not leave our team. That's what's called a true fan. Let me introduce that to you. That's what the concept of being a loyal fan is. Number one. And number two, let me ask you this. We're not cheating, Mike, and you know that.
That's not a question.
But I will say this, Mike Hughes, I got a question for you, Mike. No. I got a question for you, and I'm going to be quiet and let you answer this question, and I'm not going to say a word, but I got a question for you. Why is it that Mookie Betts comes out and publicly tells you that they're videotaping signs, and you don't say a fucking thing about it? So where's your freaking bullshit unbiased reporting skills?
That's not my team.
And Pride's not here to make fun of.
My point is, you're biased.
Pride's not here. Yeah, if Pride was here, I would have said it.
You're biased against the Astros, but when everybody else does it, you say it not a damn thing. And that's why I can't take that shit seriously when it comes from you guys, because y'all don't say the same shit or keep the same energy.
All right, let's get back on track.
I do have a serious question.
Put your arms down.
He's getting mad now. He's getting
You
mad
say-
now.
I just want the same
Let me ask
energy.
you a question. So should when they won the World Series, when it's known that they cheated, should that count as a actual World Series win? When you say steroid use in baseball, they should have their own wing in the Hall of Fame because they cheated. They used steroids. So what's the difference between that and a World Series?
What you think? Yeah.
Hey, at the end of the day, if you want to take the 18 away from them, if you want to take the Dodgers when they take them all away, I mean, I agree with what you're saying, Gonzo. Look, if you want to take the 17 away from the Astros, so be it. Do it.
Well, I'm just asking.
But what I'm saying is,
my opinion on steroids.
Keep that same energy with every other team that you keep with the Astros. Keep it with everybody. Don't just single out one.
Well, I was just asking because you have a different opinion.
I'm a betting guy. Gonzo, you're a betting guy. You host a betting show. Chicago Black Sox screwed everybody over. But we don't talk about that no more. Why?
The reason I asked is because I know your opinion on the steroids. You know my opinion on steroids. I think the guy should be in the Hall of Fame.
I agree. I totally agree. If they want to take away from 2017,
Oh,
hey, what's up? Hold on. If you want to take away from 2017 Astros, I you know what? I can't blame you for that. I can't blame you for that.
Hey, really quick.
I know we're gonna have a call later on. I apologize. I started it. Frankie,
Jay Ness, we have a quick question for you, sir.
No, we don't. This is more BS.
One second, Jay. I gotta tell other Jay. Shush. Jay Ness, would you say that the Houston Astros are nothing but some dirty bitches?
You can't say bitches on the TV, Mike, especially in front of the CEO.
Wait, hold on, Jay McLovin. Hey, are you gonna fire me?
Hold on. I got one question. Hold on. Turn around, Mike.
I already said it.
Jay Nash, before you answer anything, could you just tell us first if you're half baked or full baked, and then answer it?
He's still talking.
All I heard was
Go ahead, say it again.
Did they cheat, Jay? Did they cheat?
Of course. Apparently they did. It's been brought out. No. To answer your question, yes, they cheated. Just like the Boston Red Sox cheated, the New York Yankees cheated, the Chicago White Sox cheated.
Hey.
The New York Yankees cheated. Yeah, we cheated. We cheated. We did.
Trophy's everybody's trophy.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk, sir.
Oh, your TED Talk
Hi, man.
Just because you want to go get yes.
He's gone.
By the way, man, listen, if you and Jay Ness are in a relationship, just go ahead and come out.
All four of us are going to be getting some messages here in a little while.
Not me, because I don't open them.
No, hey, look, man. Hey, I am fully prepared to say
true.
Astros cheat in 17.
Yeah, I really don't open my text, bro. You should just call me.
But I will say this. They didn't cheat any more than anybody else has cheated, and we see it coming to light. Other
cheater,
you guys don't want to acknowledge that. The fact that you don't want to acknowledge it means that you're biased. And I thought, as reporters, as analysts, we're supposed to be unbiased.
You know, everybody's a cheater.
Why are you not unbiased, Mike? Why are you not an unbiased reporter?
I am. It's just not
No,
relevant.
you're not.
There's no
Mike, you are not unbiased. You are. I'm not unbiased.
How?
If there was a Boston Red Sox, if Pride was in here, he would give Pride crap about the Red Sox.
Right. The only one that didn't cheat was the Cubbies. We didn't cheat.
Mike, I just want to ask one question.
My
Do
Cubs
you
didn't
believe
cheat.
Wikibet's report that Boston cheated with video sign stealing? Do you believe
they did? Yeah, they're cheaters.
So why are you not? So my second question is, why are you not all up on them?
So who in here is a Red Sox fan?
Oh, you gotta have a Red Sox fan to be unbiased. Okay, I see. Okay, touche. But I want you.
If Pride was in here,
I hear you.
If Pride was in here, I'd be talking about it. You know what it is? You know what it is?
No.
Hey, hold on. You know what it is? You want to know why people come on you? Why people are always on your nuts like stink on rice, bro? I'm telling you right now. It's because you come in here, Jay. I'm gonna be real with you. Give me a minute. Just a minute. Don't say
I don't like fake shit. So I hope
don't even breathe. See, here you go.
Me.
Wait. I'm gonna explain to you why it happened. Pride's team cheated, right? So Pride, the second he found that out, never brought up the Red Sox on his own ever again. You Every day, Jonzo will be like, so what do you guys think about the Eagles versus Chiefs? And you'll be like, well, let me tell you about the Houston Astros. And we're like,
Yeah,
well,
Nate said that. You know what?
What?
No, that's cancel.
like,
Take
you
a part of
got
that.
it, bro.
No, we're not
You
doing that,
asked-
Mike. No, you can't just say what you want because it's a free country.
Cheater.
Why do I have a freaking New York Yankee symbol as
I
my
don't know,
avatar?
man.
What
This
the
is
hell?
awesome. I hope
Oh,
it burns
Chris.
in your forehead.
Chris, you a Yankee fan now? I love it.
Secret tunnel.
Oh, Mike!
Secret
He's a Yankee
tunnel.
fan. Hey, yo,
Anthony
Jay,
Rizzo.
take
Anthony
your
Rizzo.
camera off,
Anthony
Jay.
Rizzo.
Take your camera off.
Anthony Rizzo.
Jay, turn off your camera. I want to see what yours is.
Oh man, I have no idea, but I will do that for you. Hold on a minute.
I'll screen.
son
Screenshot.
of a bitch.
Let's go.
Hey, who did that shit? No.
Let's go.
You-
Oh,
Hey, listen, I applaud that.
Secret
Listen,
tunnel.
hold
All
on.
right.
Nobody
Hey, Gonzo,
loves
get us
the
out of here, bro.
French better than this
Left.
guy. Nobody, and that was good. Frankie, I don't know how you did that, but that was good, Frankie.
All
Good
right,
job.
check this out.
Good
Hey,
job,
Gonzo,
Frankie.
Gonzo, can I send us home today?
Sure.
All right, check this out, guys.
No, hold on. Anthony Price, I'm not bringing up Houston. They brought it up. I just responded, okay?
All right, check this out. Hey, Gonzo.
By the way, Anthony Price, I love you and I
Hey.
support you. Thank you.
Hey, Frankie,
What's up, Daddy?
you want to see my last day on the ASAP network?
Oh,
Oh
crap.
man,
Check this
here we
out.
go.
Well, on behalf of Chris Gonzo, Jay McLovin, and the amazing Jay McLovin's daddy and Frankie the Yankee, I want to say thank you guys for listening to the Sports Empire Network, and I appreciate everybody who tuned in today. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and we'll see you guys soon. Don't forget to send your dues and all the money that I'm going to steal from you guys later.